Josiah?
Rob! Rob, they're not happy!
Not happy with what?
They want Mag more! They want Valhalla!
What about Brio?
No, they don't really seem to care about Brio.
I thought it was kind of obvious though. They're way smaller than the other levels.
Why don't we give them a top 5 mini levels? See if that appeases them. Rob! Rob! Rob?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, sure, whatever, okay.
Just hurry up!
Data received.
Ah yes, Norian. The site of the battle that begins Metroid Prime 3. It's got a very different feel, which is unlike almost any other Metroid level. Opposed to being almost completely alone, you're fighting with many allies on your side, talking to galactic federal troops, providing support to the base, and interacting with your fellow bounty hunters is a totally new vibe for the trilogy. Wait, talking to people is a new vibe? Really? Samus, come on girl, you need to get out more. Oh come on, you know what I meant. Soldiers are running around, ships are flying in the sky, space pirates are invading from every angle. It's exciting and very unique. Not really. But for Metroid, we'll give it that.
As Samus and the other hunters, Rundus, Gandrita, and Gore, fight off the space pirate attack, you attempt to activate the planet's main source of defense against threats, including the Phazon Leviathan, which is crashing down toward the planet. But honestly, if I can speak freely for a moment, just close your ears if you don't want to hear this. I don't care too much about the hunters. They're kinda cool, I guess, but they don't have very much development. They just fight some people and talk to you a couple of times. I don't really care about them, even though enough of the plot that surrounds them indicates that I should care about them. But they're just kinda forgettable. The only one I really cared about at all was Rundus. He's my boy. But that was just because you talked to him more than the other two put together, and I just kinda really like his personality.
Hey, relax, we're the good guys. Justice will prevail and all that stuff. These pirates are more fragile than they appear.
Probably the best thing about Norian is the boss fight with Ridley, where you're falling to the core of the planet, which kinda rips off the two towers in a way, but still, it's one of the most memorable moments of Prime 3. It's a pretty interesting fight and pretty unique in terms of Metroid boss battles, or any boss battles. It stands out nicely. Ridley is defeated and falls to the core of the planet, and Rundus saves you and brings you back to the surface. Is Ridley dead? No. You think Ridley dies when he, well, dies? Naive child.
Data received.
Phase is the last level of Metroid Prime 3, which means it's the final area of the entire trilogy. It's your final confrontation with Dark Samus. Phase is the source of all Phazon, the origin of the meteors which brought the destructive force of Phazon to all of the planets that Samus has traversed in the entire trilogy.
Phase is quite an interesting place. Visually, it's got a real neon glow, lots of vivid blue. In fact, pretty much everything on this planet is a shade of blue. I wonder if Dark Samus just kind of feels a bit blue herself.
There's also lots of very interesting creatures here, like bizarre Phazon monsters and living organisms that you have to pass through. It kind of makes you think, was Phase once a normal planet that eventually succumbed to Phazon altogether? Or was it always pure Phazon? I don't even think the game tells you.
Phase is also the site of the final boss fight against Dark Samus and Aurora Unit 313. And I've gotta be honest here, the whole thing feels a bit anticlimactic. It looks pretty grand, sure, but the level leading up to the fight is pretty linear and isn't fleshed out very much. And the final boss is pretty easy, for a final boss at least. I mean, overload with Phazon? Seriously? You're on a planet where the entire environment is made of Phazon. That made sense in Prime 2. You were unstable then, but you've absorbed like a gajillion tons of Phazon. Or maybe I just don't understand Metroid lore enough. I guess it's video games. Don't question it.
Data received.
The Impact Crater, the final zone of Metroid Prime. The entire game, you've had one overarching goal. Enter the Artifact Temple, unlock the seal, and enter the Impact Crater to destroy Metroid Prime. This place is extremely memorable. It has a very, very strong alien vibe to it. It really stands apart from the other areas and truly feels alien.
It's not very big. It only has about 5 rooms or so. But even considering how small it is, the Impact Crater makes up for it with some massive atmosphere and danger. There's all this new orange Phazon that we've never seen before, Magmor, which Samus's fancy new Phazon suit isn't immune to. There are new kinds of Metroids which can't be killed by ice, and they can mutate and multiply. The rooms and structures are built from a foreign, unknown material. Some of them even look like giant, monstrous teeth. And then there's the final boss, Metroid Prime. This is an incredibly iconic boss battle. Its first stage alone is incredibly well done, but it's Metroid Prime's second form that will stand out in my memory forever. The music in this boss battle is some of the most pulse-pounding, exciting music in the entire game. Not to mention how cool it is to channel Phazon through your body to destroy Metroid Prime. It's intense, it's challenging, it's overall an amazing and memorable fight. Almost my favorite boss fight in the entire game. Almost. I am sorry, my dear. There is only one I can truly love.
Data received.
What? Magmor? A mini level? Impossible. Okay, I can see where you're coming from if you're thinking that, but first, let me explain why we consider Magmor a mini level rather than a proper one. It's far more linear and smaller than most other areas. It features no bosses within Metroid Prime. It doesn't contribute to the main plot other than featuring more logs and scans. It's basically a subway station to shuttle you between other areas. It's a bit unfair to compare Magmor Caverns to the other areas in Metroid Prime, since it's a fair bit smaller. But if we think of it as a mini level, it stands out really well. It's got a really strong and consistent vibe and atmosphere. The music is a redone version of Lower Norfair's theme from Super Metroid, and trust me, it fits just as well here as it did in the original. It's really upbeat and almost feels a bit mechanical. The constant beat of the drum moves us onward through room after room, over dangerous terrain, urging us onward to our next destination. It's so insightful.
Magmor Caverns also has a lot of really interesting enemies. The caverns are bursting with life. Creatures are floating in the air, burrowing underground, and even swimming in the lava itself. Magmor really stands out as its own unique environment, even when compared to the other areas in the trilogy and how much bigger they are.
And sure, Magmor is typically the generic lava level that we see in a lot of games, but Magmor really gives its own personal touch to that type of level. It's very mechanical. There's lots of different machines and metal platforms built into the environment, by the space pirates or even the Chozo before them. This mechanical vibe with its cavernous location makes Magmor really stand out as its own thing, at least for the lack of stuff in the area compared to the others.
There's actually a reason why Magmor is fairly underdeveloped in comparison to the other locations. You see, Magmor Caverns was originally going to be a much bigger and more important area, but there just wasn't enough time for Retro Studios to make it happen. There's actually concept art for a Kraid boss fight. Yeah, that's right, Kraid was originally intended to be in the Magmor Caverns. Whether his exclusion was an intentional decision or if they just straight up ran out of time, it's still a shame.
Data received.
The GFS Valhalla is a masterpiece of atmosphere and subtlety. This is a terrifying location in Metroid Prime 3, especially on your first playthrough. It's a desolate, ruined wreck of a Galactic Federation frigate that's haunted by Metroids.
Everywhere you look lies the ruins of a once great ship. You know this ship, in fact. It's designed identically to the ship you explored at the beginning of the game, the GFS Olympus. It's incredible how much this adds to the frightening effect of this environment. You know what this place looks like when it's whole, so seeing it broken and so ruined greatly adds to the uneasy atmosphere. Or it just really annoys you. Man, do you know how much time it took to clean the GFS Olympus? Come on, dude, I don't have enough lunch breaks for this. It makes you feel vulnerable, or something. I don't know. Metroids just creep me out, you know? Seeing the dead bodies of soldiers you've fought beside really sets in the horror of what happened here. Oh no, look at all these dead, developed, memorable characters. As the guy who shot the other guy. I feel so much nothing. I don't feel anything. Like nothing. The swarms of Metroids, the Phazon covering the walls, it's not exactly a pretty place, and the environmental storytelling here is quite effective, with the scan logs or even just visual show don't tell.
The Valhalla also features the best handled plot MacGuffins in the entire trilogy. To explore the Valhalla, you need energy cells to power the mechanisms that open doors throughout the ship. Unlike the first two games in the trilogy though, you can find most of the energy cells organically throughout your playthrough. But if you really want to explore the deepest, darkest depths of the ruined ship, you can do that too. The rewards aren't always that exciting, but this is one of the best examples in the trilogy of the journey mattering more than the destination. But the destination is still super creepy.
Hey everybody, thank you so much for watching this video. If you're new and you enjoyed the video, why not hit that subscribe button for more? Huge thank you to Josiah for featuring in this video. He's an awesome guy and you should definitely check him out. He makes some hilarious stuff. If you want some more of this stuff, we actually made a whole different video on his channel, which is nearly twice as long as this one. So go check it out, would ya? And lastly, thanks for watching.